9, I had the privilege and honor to meet Rob Van Dam, RVD.
RVD.
You know, and big fan of his. Big fan. But when I first met him, I saw him from far away. My friend was like, "Dude, you gotta talk to him. Looks like you're an idol." Dude. I'm like, "Nah, dude, I can't."
He's like grabbing your shoulder and shaking you when he does that.
Yeah, pushing me. So I see Rob. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm like 6'3". So Rob, throwing something away. He turns around. He looks up, and there's just big me, and I'm like smiling and grinning at him, like. And he's
big
like,
scary man just standing over him.
And I put my hand out, handshake. I was like, "Hi," and he was like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Oh God!" So I walked off, came back, and I was like, "Oh man, that was awkward. I'm sorry. I gotta talk to you." So me and him just started chatting. He's talking about wrestling and stuff. This is when he kind of left WWE. I couldn't remember the purposes.
Like just recently left, or
no.
He's been gone for a while.
Was it 09? I think he was gone for a while.
He's gone for a while. Cool. Any other wrestlers that you have met? You gotta compare and contrast at this point. So you gotta throw me one, and I'll throw you one.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of independent wrestlers on the circuit. A lot of I don't know many of the promotions are like PWG and XPW. Actually, that's the Fox. Never mind. That one's out of there. But Pogo the Clown was a hardcore wrestler. I think he wrestled in ECW. Really big guy. His feuds were against Sandman and everything. And I was watching was it WrestleMania? I can't remember. It was like 3 years ago. And I walked in with my friends because I grew up with a lot of pro wrestlers. He happened to be sitting in the room, and he's like, hey, I could show you a bump, and just really cool guy. When you're around a lot of wrestlers, oh look, they'll show you things you've never seen in wrestling before.
And I think I saw a picture of you being headlocked by him.
Yeah.
He's like you say, you're like 6'2", 6'3", and he's still he's slightly, but he still kind of towered over you when you had you in that headlock.
Yeah, he's about 6'6", and he's about 500 and something pounds. Big guy, hardcore wrestler. He can jump off the top ropes, which is very scary.
And you do not want to get splashed by someone that big.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take a quick music break. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys started on some Weezer. If you're wondering if I want you to, I want you to. I remember seeing one of your earlier videos on YouTube. You had Mace Windu.
Oh God.
Like it wasn't even Mace Windu. It was a cutout of Mace Windu, stalking this little kid. Everywhere the kid went, Mace Windu's right there with his lightsaber, and his eyes are always following this kid.
All right, I gotta tell you this story. So,
oh please.
When I first got into film, it was a long time ago. Why are you bringing this up? I don't want to bring it up. So it was one of my first videos, and the main thing was, okay, I got a cardboard cutout of Mace Windu. Now, that sounds fine, but when you look in his face, he looks very intimidating. To the point where I would have him in the house, and I would actually feel uncomfortable with Mace Windu staring at me. So we made a skit where he's just standing there stalking one of my neighbors, Ben, and he was running away from him, and it was a little short film, and I did it for a college project. And I did also a martial arts kung fu project on there, The Legend of Leong Zhong. Funny and that was a funny video. Bad acting, but we had the props.
Must get away from the Mace Windu. Quick, tell them about the other one. Tell them about the other one.
I don't want to talk about Mace Windu.
All right, this is something that we do have to talk about. This was a what's the best wording for it? Lack of communication, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this was my fault. When I was setting up this interview with you, yeah, my fault. I'm a total jerk. I messed up. I'm stupid. I'm gonna go ahead and say even my speech sounds like I called you up the night before just to give you a heads up of how we were gonna do things, and you asked what time is it gonna be, and I said from 5 to 6. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. You know how to get there. How much does it cost? And we looked it up, and we got everything going.
Yeah. And
then I get home. I just picked up Mass Effect 2, and I play it. I play it for 2 hours. So it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, if I crash out now, I'll be able to get 6-7 hours of sleep before I have to go to class for my first show. And I can't fall asleep. I'm tossing and turning until 2:15, to the point where I didn't even realize I fell asleep. You know how when you're comfortable enough, you get okay, I'm about to crash.
Yeah, you're about to go to sleep.
At this point, I didn't even realize I was asleep until I get a cell phone call. And I'm like, oh man, someone's calling. What time is it? It's